I'm Dave, you're watching Dave's Taste Buds, and welcome back. Got a great episode for you today. It's fall up here in New England, and anywhere around the Boston area, that means going over to Jordan Furniture and checking out the Enchanted Village, and it also means picking up the most delicious muffins around. Blueberry muffins, they're so good. See, back in the day, 150 years ago, Jordan Furniture was a department store called Jordan Marsh.
He was a carpet layer for Jordan Marsh.
And back then, department stores used to have little eating areas, a lot like IKEA has today with their Swedish meatballs. It's that kind of a thing. So you used to be able to go to the department stores and get muffins and treats and all that kind of stuff. They did away with that long time ago. But Jordan Marsh has then turned into Jordan Furniture. Jordan Furniture does this thing called the Enchanted Village. It's a big Christmas celebration. It's, you know, it's rides, it's meet with Santa. They got ice skating over there. They got a snow tube hill inside. It's bananas. But they also have blueberry muffins that they still serve with the original recipe. So not only are they a staple up here in this area, you can't beat the perfect blueberry muffin. And I've eaten a lot of blueberry muffins, and these are the best. So I'm gonna show you how to make it. So we're gonna kick this off and get right into it. Not very different from most muffin recipes, but it's just better. I don't even know how to describe it. It's certainly better than just getting it out of the box and adding, you know, a couple of eggs and some oil.
I think you can do better than that.
Butter, stick. Get yourself a nice mixer. You can use a hand mixer. You could even do this by hand if you really want to give yourself a little bit of a arm exercise. Into the mixer, like any standard muffin recipe, you're gonna start off with your butter. We're just gonna kind of whip that up. Into that butter is gonna go your sugar. We're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna work that until it comes to a nice, creamy, smooth texture. Looking pretty good. Scrape down the sides a little bit. Off. Up. There we go. Sweet. Back in, lock, back on. Now, while this is finishing up, we're gonna sift. I mean, when it comes to baking, some people like to sift their dry ingredients, some don't. These, I kind of want to make it a little bit more light and fluffy. I'm gonna sift all my dry ingredients into here. Butter's looking good. Butter, sugar, eggs, one at a time. You can crack these outside of the bowl if you're not comfortable with not catching a shell in it. And you know what? For the video, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Last thing I need is to have you guys sit there and have to watch me dig eggshells out of the mix. But you're gonna wanna add these eggs just one at a time. One. Oh, you know what that sound is? That's the sound of our oven being preheated. 375. We're gonna cook these for about 25, 30 minutes. We got one egg in, looking good. Another egg going in. Oh yeah. We're just gonna let this slowly combine the butter, the egg, and the sugar together. Sift our ingredients into a separate bowl. We're gonna end up with 2 cups all-purpose flour. Sift those. I like to sift about half of it, and then I'll go ahead and I'll just add the rest of the dry ingredients. We've got a pinch of salt, it's like half a teaspoon. We got 2.5 teaspoons baking powder. That's going in. Recipe's gonna be down below. So we're gonna sift all of our dry ingredients together. And by doing that, we know that it's gonna mix in there. We're gonna get all our ingredients in there nice. I'm gonna kill that. So while I'm finishing sifting this, do me a favor, subscribe, would ya? Doesn't cost anything, just takes a second. Hit that little button over there, down there, over there, on your phone, somewhere. Subscribe. Do me a favor too, if you know Jordan's Furniture, if it's a favorite, anything you want to comment about Jordan Furniture, the muffins, maybe you've had them before, maybe you haven't, maybe you've been to the Enchanted Village, you want to give a shout out to them, yeah, Let them know. Let us know. There we go. Looking good. Now, the key to this is we still have our cup of milk. We still have our vanilla. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna incorporate this really slowly into here. Let it mix. Slowly put it in there. Ah, so light and fluffy after you've sifted it. There we go. Slowly put that in. Let it do its thing. Milk, a little bit at a time. Our little bit of vanilla, 2.5 teaspoons, I believe. Recipes down below. Look at this. Got flour all in my pan. Can't have that. Kick this up a notch. Now, once you're happy with the way everything's incorporated, that's it. That's all you're gonna do. You got your wet, you got your dry, you combine them together. Now, you could essentially take this muffin mix and you could add anything you want to it. The blueberries we're gonna add, chocolate chips, dried cranberries, nuts, whatever you want. Bananas.
Anything.
We are going with blueberries. We're gonna wanna get all this dough off of here. We're gonna want every little bit of these muffins that we can get. We're gonna take this right off here. We're gonna get our mixer out of the way. Heavy, heavy mixer. Here we go. Now, as you can see, we got our muffin batter. This is 2.5 cups of blueberries. Now, would I have loved to get fresh blueberries in here? Absolutely. But guess what? I went with frozen, and I hate to even have to say this, but I'm talking those little tiny things of blueberries, they're like this big and this tall. They were $4 at the supermarket, at every supermarket. I would need like 6 of them to get enough blueberries to make this recipe. So I apologize that I cheaped out a little bit and went with frozen blueberries. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grease these. These are brand new. I just gave them a wash down, so they're very non-stick. Typically I would take the time and just butter them down because I like to grease stuff with butter. Oh, I'm gonna do something I really don't like to do. I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of spray. Not too much because these are pretty new. I'm confident that they're non-stick, so we're just gonna give it a little bit of that. So, I am going to get this batter into these level, maybe a little bit less than level because they are gonna rise quite a bit. So, sit tight. I'm gonna have these in the muffin pans. You don't need to sit there and watch me do it. So give me 1 second. All right, see? Told you it wasn't gonna take long. So, we got our muffins in here. We're just gonna hit them with a little bit of sugar on top. Typically, and I should have thought to grab it at the store, the recipe doesn't call for it, but I like to use the really, like the raw sugar, the almost bigger crystals of sugar, because it really kind of just shows off at the top. But this just calls for a little bit of this, so that's all I'm gonna do. Like I said, I got my oven at 375. I'm gonna pop these in for 20 minutes, probably check them. 25 minutes, check them again. If they're not there, I'll let it go to half an hour, but I will certainly show you how they come out. Pretty excited. So yeah, I'm gonna pop these into my oven over here. Subscribe. Okay, so I checked the muffins after 20 minutes, they needed more time. I checked them after 25 minutes, they need more time. I checked them after a half an hour, done. Perfectly. You know how? Because I used the toothpick test.
That's an old wives' tale.
Put a toothpick in it, pull it out. If it comes out dry, they're done. Pull them out, let them cool down. This is what you got. I will tell you that I haven't taken one of these out yet, but I will tell you that I know that they're gonna be delicious. Where is my offset extracting thing? You've gotta be careful. Oh, this is such a useful tool. See that? I use it all the time for all kinds of stuff. I'm just gonna give it a quick little spin and it's gonna pop right out of there. Ooh. Oh, light, fluffy, tons of blueberries. Look at. Am I getting it? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, so delicious. Brings me right back to Jordan Marsh days. Transports me 100 years back. Light, fluffy, sweet. You can taste a little bit of sugar that we dusted on top. Oh, they're perfect. So, like I said, this is your muffin base for any kind of muffins you want to make. And now you know how to do it. So, now that we've made these muffins, I got videos here. I got a great video here. I got that subscribe right down there. Do me a favor, just subscribe, like, comment. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And when you're done doing all that, go bake something.